I'm always happy to do videos for Mark and Christine from Scrap Time. They're awesome. They get uploaded fast. You guys get the sneak peek fastest. So here's the new 7-inch Make Art Station. Our regular one was 12 inches, so you can see that there's a big difference in size, and you can see the magnets stick to everything. So there is really a big difference in the size. This is really good for card makers, art journalers, scrapbookers, really anybody. It's nice to take on the go because it's small, so you can just drop it in your bag and you're ready to go. One of the really cool new accessories we did is a magnetic stamp positioner. So here's why I wanted this. Have you ever stamped anything and you think, darn, a little bit lower and he would have been standing on the stone like I wanted him? Or if you wanted to add some like little ferny things or weeds coming out of this stone wall, you can see because they're not attached, it looks really weird. So I have a way to prevent that. So this is a magnetic stamp positioner. So what comes in the package is this thin acrylic block that has grid lines on it, and then the magnetic corner, and that is the thing that's really the key to the whole process. So this is very strong. It will actually pick up the whole station. That's how strong the magnets are. So it's really a nice feature. The reason I wanted magnets for this, if you do a stamp positioner without magnets, and if I have my stamp position and if I touch this, you can see how easily it moves. So really it's not much of a help that way unless you have your hand on it to hold it down the whole time. So this is a way that you have two hands to do it, and you'll hear it snap down. It's really strong. All right, so let's say I have a red rubber stamp, and obviously you cannot see through them. So this is the first way to use the stamp positioner. So I have this little leaf here, and I want to stamp my bird on here. Now he's red rubber, so I can't see exactly where he is, and if he's a little bit off, he's going to look like that. So here's the way to do it. So with the red rubber stamp, I need my corner and I need my positioner piece. And I need my jet black archival. And I need my block. So this is my new acrylic block. You'll see that it only has one corner. It has scalloped edges, small on one side and big on the other side. And I did that for a reason. So this corner always goes in the corner here. So if they had 2 or 3 corners on it, once you turn it over and ink it and then try to put it back, you don't have to think about which way did this go in there. It's always going to be corner to corner. You can turn it that way. As long as it's corner to corner, it will always work. So here's the deal. I'm going to take my block, and I want the corner up here, and I'm just going to pick up my little bird, and I'll ink him with archival ink, and I use jet black. And the reason I do that is if you have a busy background, the jet black is going to be the easiest to see in position. If you do a lighter archival color, you might not have a good time seeing it. It's a little bit harder. So jet black is working good for me. So I have my little positioner piece here. I have it in the corner, and it doesn't even need to be square on the station. So I just need to line up the corners, press down, and that's where my little bird is going to end up. Okay, so then the next step is to get my leaf here. And you can see now I can see through my acrylic piece, so I can have my bird if I want him here, if I want him standing off the side, if I want him angled, and I'll have his feet in the perfect position so he's not like hovering above the leaf. He's going to be right in that spot. So the thing I need to do is hold this piece down and then add my square right in the corner there. So now my bird is perfectly positioned. I take that piece out. I'll re-ink my stamp so that I get a good image. And then again, corner to corner. That's the only thing you have to remember. So now when I stamp this, the bird is going to be right exactly where I wanted him on the leaf. And I'll turn it around so you can see it a little bit better. So he's not hovering around. So if you ever worry about, oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done a little bit lower. This is really the solution to the whole thing. So the next thing that's really interesting is my stamps from Ranger are clear. So if you're watching this video, you're thinking, well, I have clear stamps, why would I need this? I'll show you why. This is really a cool thing. All right, so let's say I have my background done. I have my die cuts here that I want to work with now. Okay, so I'm gonna put my magnets on anywhere, and I want to start arranging my focal point. So I have my 2 leaves here, and I'll add a flower here. Okay, so I like how that sits, but now I need to start adding some filler stamps to the background. So if I take one of my clear stamps, do this guy here again. Oh, because this is a clear stamp, I can see exactly where I'm going to stamp, so I don't need to use the thin acrylic block. I want to make sure my stamp is clean because I'm going to set it wherever I want it. So I want it right exactly like that. So I can move my magnets out of the way. And what I want to do is I want to put my corner piece down. I don't want it on top of the magnets, but I do want it on top of my cardstock. So that's going to hold my card down. And so now I know that's exactly where I'm going to stamp. Let me back up with that. If I don't use that, and I think I'm going to stamp it here. Okay, so I'm going to pick this up on my acrylic block. And if I move my die cuts out of the way, and now I'm ready to stamp my leaves, but it's like, where exactly was this? Was it this high, or was it this high, or was it over here, right? So once you take your die cuts off, you've completely lost your orientation, right? So now, all I have to do is put my die cuts back, put my flower there. Okay. I want these leaves right here. That's good. Okay. So now I'll put my corner on. That's going to hold my card in place. Doesn't have to be straight. That doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you always put corner to corner. So I can get that out of the way. I'm going to pick up my stamp. And now when I move my die cuts out of the way, I can ink this stamp, and it's going to be in the perfect spot. Talk about clumsy here. Sorry, guys. So now when I stamp this, it's exactly where I wanted it. So when I put my die cuts back, and you can do this with a lot of different die cuts. Don't look at that, all right? So now you can see it's in the perfect spot. And I can continue to add. So every time I add, I'll move the die cuts out of the way again and do it exactly the same way. Sometimes once you have a couple done, you don't need to do it, then you can kind of see where you want to stamp, you can kind of see where it's going. But when you don't have anything down, this is a huge, huge help. So that's why this stamp positioner even works with clear stamps that you can see through. So I think that's another really, really cool thing.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time videos for all the Creativation 2020 coverage.